Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. In the Cities of London and Westminster, I am proud to represent nearly 15,000 Muslims as their MP in Parliament. The APPG for British Muslims recently informed me that my constituency has the 70th largest Muslim population in the country. And I know from my time as a Westminster City Councillor and now as the MP, the important and key role of British Muslims play, making the two cities such a proudly multicultural and welcoming place to live. Since being elected, I have worked with a wide number of organisations across my constituency, including those supporting my Muslim constituents, such as the Westminster Bangladeshi Welfare Trust and the Westminster Bangladeshi Association, who have both supported their communities for many years. Last month, I was delighted to be invited to attend Eid celebrations on the Churchill Gardens estate in Pimlico, organised by the Residents' Association, led by their impressive chairman, Christina Walsh. The Churchill Gardens Eid celebrations brought together local people of all faiths and none to celebrate this deeply significant religious festival and be able to enjoy it as a community, no matter what our background. It was a very special afternoon, and I was delighted to be able to continue to learn more about the Ummah community and in turn about the upcoming Hajj journey that so many of my constituents will make next month. For those who are not aware, Hajj is the pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia, the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad. Every adult Muslim is expected to undertake in his or her lifetime if they are financially and physically able to do so. From speaking to Muslim friends about their experience of Hajj, I know what a special and significant time it is for them. Hajj is the fifth of the fundamental Muslim practices known as the 5 pillars of Islam, and it is obligatory. The pilgrim rites begin on the 7th day of Dhu al-Hijjah, the last month of the Islamic year, and ends on the 12th day. By being based on the lunar calendar, Hajj this year is expected to begin on the 14th of June and conclude on the 19th. Mr Deputy Speaker, despite its religious importance, many taking part in Hajj and travelling from the UK to Mecca to undertake their pilgrimage are sadly not immune to being targeted by fraudsters. I learnt firsthand about Hajj-related fraud on a recent visit to the City of London Police based in my constituency, where I met Commander Umar Khan. The City of London Police takes the national lead for fraud, and thus Hajj-related fraud court cases come under its jurisdiction. Commander Khan is leading the force's nationwide efforts to highlight how to prevent being a victim of Hajj-related fraud. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank him and his team for their outstanding work. Mr Deputy Speaker, according to the police, only 3% of Hajj-related fraud is actually reported. The reasons for such low reporting can be multifaceted. Some may not wish to report the crime as they booked through a contact of someone they know in their community or from their mosque. Others may wish not to complain due to embarrassment or shame. We often hear these reasons from so many victims of whatever fraud in whatever circumstances. Mr Deputy Speaker, one of the reasons I tabled this debate is to send a clear message to our British Muslim community that they should feel safe and confident that they will be taken seriously if they report a suspected fraud. Due to the low levels of reporting, we simply cannot know the full extent of what I think is a heinous crime. In my discussions with City of London police officers about Hajj-related fraud, they informed me that they have accidentally come across incidences of fraud, but are finding it increasingly difficult to receive reports of this crime. The City of London...
Honourable friend,
of course, yeah.
Jonathan Law.
My honourable friend is making a very eloquent speech. As a former deputy leader of Westminster, I know the importance of the Muslim community there, just as I have a very important Muslim community in my constituency of Woking. My honourable friend is making a really good point. I think the message must go out to members of this House that we should speak with the religious leaders locally, the community leaders locally, to make sure that this heinous crime is reported. As I say, I've got a large Muslim community, but I haven't heard of this before, and it sounds terrible.
I thank my honourable member for his intervention. He's absolutely right. Until I had been to my visit with the City of London Police, who take the lead on this, I met Commander Khan, I was not aware. And I think it's really, really important that we do highlight so many of these hidden crimes. And I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate my honourable friend for his third private member's bill that he has secured in his political career so far. So well done. Mr Deputy Speaker, as I said, I really wanted to highlight the importance of ensuring that the Muslim community in this country know that they can, if they are victims of any type of fraud, but particularly Hajj-related fraud, can inform the police and have it investigated properly. And the City of London Police believe that one of the reasons for low levels of reporting may be traditional attitudes that persist, having become pure at a Hajj, that the person involved does not want to speak of such worldly things as fraud as they are undertaking their pilgrimage. And for those who suspect that they have been a victim of any type of fraud, they should report it straight away to Action Fraud, the National Fraud and Cyber Crime Reporting Service, and it is available online at actionfraud.police.uk. Mr Deputy Speaker, every year 25,000 British Muslims travel to Mecca in Saudi Arabia to undertake their Hajj. Many will have saved for years in the knowledge that this will be a once-in-a-lifetime trip. Those Brits taking part in the pilgrimage spend a combined £125 million each year. These costs will include flights, accommodation, and paying for a guide, perhaps, when they're there. And from data obtained from the Police UK website, police forces have sadly reported Hajj-related fraud resulting in British citizens losing anything from £1,000 up to a staggering £33,000 to fraudsters, who have promised to arrange their Hajj travel and accommodation, but had no intention of ever doing so. Indeed, they were never heard from again. Those shopping around for the best deal for their trip to Mecca, both within their local community and increasingly online, particularly on social media, have been attracted by packages covering flights, accommodation and visas, which appear to offer good value for money. Some rogue operators advertise large reductions compared to what would usually be charged. Accommodation advertised as 4-star hotels are in reality, on arrival, found to be barely the quality of 1 star. I have heard reports of flights being deliberately oversubscribed, leading to people failing to make the trip at all. People posing as travel agents, charging extortionate prices for visas up to £1,000 each, when they are actually free. And travellers asked to pay in cash or make a direct bank transfer prior to the trip and told that they would receive their tickets and travel documents nearer to the departure date, never to be received. A once-in-a-lifetime trip, often using life savings, ending in heartbreak. I cannot imagine the distress and upset this must cause people so looking forward to undertaking their Hajj. Mr Deputy Speaker, as we lead up to this year's annual Hajj, I thought it important to highlight the dangers that fraudsters can pose to our citizens at this special time, but also ensure that people know that there is a way to protect themselves from becoming victims of Hajj-related fraud. In response to tackling this fraud, which doesn't just affect British Muslims, but those planning the pilgrimage from across the world, the Saudi Arabian government has acted decisively. It is very important to highlight, I think, that this is a global fraud issue And I read with interest in the Arab Times yesterday that the Iraqi authorities have prosecuted more than 25 companies fraudulently engaging in commercial Hajj operations. So in 2022, knowing that there was an increased issue regarding Hajj-related fraud, the Saudi Arabian Ministry of Hajj and Umrah created the Nusuk Hajj portal, which has changed the way individuals book their pilgrimage. The portal is available to over 50 countries, including the United Kingdom, and was created to provide a seamless and safe pilgrimage booking experience. By centralising the process by which visas are acquired, much of the fraud we have seen previously has been stifled, thankfully. So it is imperative that individuals only book their Hajj trips through the Nusuk portal. Anyone posing as a provider of visas or of trips to Mecca for Hajj is simply misleading. Sadly, Mr. Deputy Speaker, even after the creation of the Nusuk Hajj portal, and despite its successes in reducing fraud, the criminal fraternity continues, as it always does, to attempt to find new avenues to try and take advantage. My advice to Hajis is to remain vigilant about what is being sold and by whom. I am still receiving reports of individuals being sold Umrah visas and generic tourist visas and being told that they are acceptable for their Hajj pilgrimage. This is not the case. You can only travel with a Hajj visa from the Nusuk portal. Of course, these other visas I've mentioned allow access at any other time of the year. However, for the period of Hajj, those reliant on these visas will not be permitted entry to Mecca. It is also important to note that Hajj-related fraud is not just about those buying a package which simply does not exist, but also involves profiteering from a sacred pilgrimage. The fraudsters involved are, in my mind, the lowest of the low. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I want to thank the groups who work tirelessly to highlight the importance of prosecuting and protecting anyone from Hajj-related fraud and encouraging the use of the Nusuk Hajj portal. As well as Commander Khan and the City of London Police, I must also thank the Honourable Member for Bolton South East for her work leading the APPG for Hajj and Umrah, which alongside the Council of British Hajis has raised the profile of this fraud immeasurably. Having met with the Honourable Member for Bolton South East recently to discuss Hajj-related fraud, she was very clear that trading standards departments up and down the country, and specifically in Birmingham, have worked very hard to uncover such criminal activity, bringing those involved to justice and ensure the wider Muslim community is aware of possible fraud and the importance of using the Nusuk Hajj portal. By highlighting and encouraging the use of the portal among British Muslims, I hope we can tackle once and for all Hajj-related fraud. After all, Mr. Deputy Speaker, this week is UK Finance's Take 5 week, a week designed to raise awareness and help tackle all types of fraud. And so I look forward to hearing from the Minister about how his department and the government in general is supporting British Muslims this year and in every year to come to ensure that British Muslims can enjoy their pilgrimage without the fear of exploitation and disappointment.
Yeah.